Today, we're spotlighting the influential, unapologetically bold digital media trailblazer, Tasha K., born Latasha Transrena Kibi on March 10, 1982, in Panama City, Florida. We dive into the remarkable journey of one of the most fearless and compelling voices on the internet. From the neighborhood where she grew up to the home she built through determination and grit. Tasha K. opens up about the life experiences that shaped her into the powerhouse the world knows today. Raised with humble beginnings, Tasha's path was anything but easy. But what she lacked in resources, she made up for in resilience, authenticity, and a relentless work ethic. With raw talent and a microphone in hand, she discovered her voice, her passion for storytelling, and the courage to create a lane that didn't exist before her. Her spark became a wildfire in 2015 when she launched the now iconic YouTube series Unwind with Tasha K. Her blend of celebrity news, pop culture commentary, and her signature wine-sipping personality quickly set her apart. Her bold delivery, unmatched charisma, and willingness to say what others wouldn't turned her into a global force, loved, debated, and always watched. And like any real trailblazer, her rise came with storms. Her high-profile legal battle and the impact that followed became a defining chapter, but not a stopping point. Tasha's comeback, her evolution, and her unwavering presence prove one thing: you can't dim a light that was born to shine. In this exclusive interview, we uncover her big break, her evolution as a creator and businesswoman, and the milestones that cemented her as a cultural disruptor. This is the woman behind the mic. This is the personality behind the headlines. This is Tasha K. Raw, real, unfiltered, and forever unforgettable.
Welcome, everybody. I hope that you all are doing amazing. My name is Kamara, the creative producer for LookWeAreIncluded.com. And I know it's December, so it's the month of miracles. And we have a very special guest. You all know her as Tasha K. Now, a lot of her fans know her as, this is my mug, but my wine glass, if I have one, the wino lady. Okay.
Yes.
Tasha, please welcome. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Kamara?
I am doing good. I love your spirit. I mean, it's like you're the same person on YouTube, on everywhere. So first, I want to
Thank you.
first I want
Yeah.
to dive into you have an extraordinary career. I mean, you started on your own media platform, and people just want to know, okay, so who is Tasha? You do a lot of stories on others, but today we focus in on you. So tell us, what is your background? Did you go to school or did you just start off on YouTube?
No, I did not. You mean go to school for what I'm doing now?
College, yep.
No college involved as far as I mean, I took a few communications courses, but like it was nothing extensive. So no, school was just never for me. I've just like really settled with that. I've toyed with going back. But I was just like, but if I do that, it will complicate my business and they'll establish me as media whenever I'm getting hit with these cases. And I'm like, right now, I like being a girlfriend, talking shit on the porch. But nah, college was just never in the cards for me. I have attended some college, but never took anything serious. But my background, I personally didn't know what my background was until I became sort of like a stay-at-home wife. I mean, I worked part-time, but it was nothing to brag about. And so, being at home bored, and then working a job on the side, that's where I just kind of found me. And I was actually at Buffalo Wild Wings in Hagerstown, Maryland. It was around I want to say 2010, if I'm not mistaken. So, yep, 4 years after my daughter was born, yep. And they had a microphone and they would have the radio station up there to host their football nights and stuff. And so I would do the birthday shout outs. And then it evolved into me helping to host football nights in case the radio station couldn't make it. And then I went on to like intern and be a part of marketing teams for different radio stations around the DC, Maryland area, Pennsylvania area. And that's kind of where I found my voice. It kind of made sense because I've always, since when I was in like high school and middle school, I was always a class clown. I was always talking shit. I was always defiant. I was always a rebel. And so yeah, my whole life I've just been a really, really, really disobedient girl. I've always gone against the grain. Yeah, and so it makes sense as to what I'm doing now. So yeah, you don't grow up saying, "Oh, I want to be a radio personality." Where I'm from, that doesn't happen. You don't see Black lawyers, Black doctors. It's a very small town, Panama City, Florida, and Black people. People say, "Oh my God, you're from the beach," or they usually think I'm from Panama, the country, and I'm like, "No, it's a little small rural town that is connected to a beach. It is surrounded by water, but like it's so poor, so impoverished." And it's sort of one of those towns where in order to make money, you got to be a doctor. So you got money to go to school to be a doctor, or you got to own your own business of sort. So we usually become the hairstylists. We open up the barbecue pits, the seafood fry houses. That's us.
Okay, so I did not know you came from humble beginnings. I actually thought you had a head start because,
Oh no,
yeah, because you have to look at your
girl,
marketing background and you're like, okay,
girl.
you know how to tap into people. So I said, well, maybe, and I'll be very honest with you,
Yeah.
from based on online and where you're from, I said, oh, well, maybe her mother was a lawyer, her dad was a doctor. I'm serious. Because these cases
Shit.
that you able to bypass, I'm like, she got to know something. So,
I've always been I love reading.
okay.
And I call me crazy. For Christmas, I got an encyclopedia set and was excited. When Google became a search engine and I was able to Google information, I was Googling. So I read so much a day. Like it's not even crazy. But no, very, very extremely humble beginnings. I'm talking about like taking baths outside.
Wow.
We didn't have snacks. We had to go outside and pick an apple or a pear from the tree. Um, Eating meat was a luxury, even though you shouldn't really eat meat
Meat
anyway. Yes, eating meat was a luxury. So our grandmother owned a farm. You do.
had
Our
to take a step
grandmother owned
back.
a farm, and she would plant all of her fruits and vegetables and stuff. And so, if we ate all of our fruits and vegetables when she made for dinner, and the cornbread and the water, you could have some meat. By the time you ate the rice, the beans, the collard greens, all that stuff, you full. So no, everything was from scratch, from the bottom. I can give you a picture of where I grew up, and you would be like, Tasha, that's a shack. They look at it as like the slums in other countries. That's what it looked like.
Well, you know what? I will get with your amazing assistant, Tiffany, and I'm gonna request that photo. We're gonna put
I
it
got you.
in the
I
YouTube.
got you.
Now, I want to talk about some other
Yeah.
things because you are really, I don't like to compare people, but for our generation, you're like the Wendy Williams. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Because you are able to dive into the news. You're not scared, but at the same time, you come with your receipts. You're like, well, no, they could just sit right here. I'm telling you I'm not saying it. This is not a rumor.
Hmm.
This is the truth. So I want to know, where did you get that boldness from? Because that's a different edge to say, not only did I say it, but I'm gonna bring the person who said it and now we're gonna post it. Where did that come from?
I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I mean, I guess I got to give credit to the women that raised me. They just some bold individuals. Whatever they say it with their chest. Say it with a frying pan to your head. And we never just been able to afraid to to call anybody out in our family where we're from. So I tell people, you come around my family, you gotta have some thick skin. Like I kid you not, my friends would not come inside of my house. They would just be like, I'm gonna wait outside because yeah, my aunt, she would just be like, or my mom, especially like I'll give you an example. It's hot, it's Florida. You got on Daisy Dukes, you got on booty shorts. You come in my house with that on, my aunt and my mom could be like, I know damn well you ain't bringing that little girl up in here with her pussy standing out right now. I know motherfucker. And they would just
Exaggerating.
say it.
You ain't say
They
that.
would just say it and be like, and I just look at them and I think I'll just wait outside. Yeah, you do. You do that. Like these are the type of women that raise me. Like I am them. They are me. And it's where I get my, I'm very brash. I've softened up a lot because, obviously what I do now, but I that's where I get it from. And so when it comes time to like try to prove our case or, oh, we're right, we're good, we're getting in the paint with it. We're getting in the paint with it. Like it's just, it's what it is. Like we the type nigga come missing. Bitch, we call in the courthouse, we call in the motherfucking jail, we call in
That's
the
right.
hospital. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, they said you wasn't there. Where the fuck was you at?
Right.
Like that's how I grew up.
Because if
So
I call
stars
Keisha, it's a problem.
Star 67, who was your last person you called? Like that's the type of shit I grew up around. So it fits into what I do. I was star 67 on it. Are you sure you said you was right there? But it says here, like, it's just part of who I am. So I give thanks to them.
Okay, just to let you know, we have like 7 questions that people send in. So we do have, we'll say, hey, we're
Okay.
interviewing Tasha K. So we have our 7 questions. We'll get to that towards the end. I want to
Okay.
pivot now to, because in my mind, you a journalist. You are.
No. I'm not. I can't do
But
that
let
because
me
a lot
tell
of
you why.
people.
Let me tell you why. I went to
Okay.
school for journalism.
Okay.
Yes, people bring you hearsay, but at the same time, you bring the other party to the table. So I want to ask you, with all of these content creators, I would say the people that's in their 20s, early 30s, what do you think the future of celebrity news looks like? Because you've already paved the way, right? So what do you think like the future is going forward in the next 5 to 10 years?
5 to 10 years for the youth or for people that's coming up in it.
First
You
with
got to
the,
be. I would say it could be a lucrative future, but I feel like with all of the suing, it's going to deter a lot of people away from the genre, right? Not me per se. I go hard, and so that could kind of damper the um I don't know, the industry a little bit. It could cripple it, and because a lot of people don't want to have to get in the belly of the beast and have to fight because you got to understand you are dealing with people who with an endless amount of resources sometimes and they don't have a lot of happiness and reason in their life and people will tell them sue do this but they don't understand what comes with suing like you got to pay for that shit and then you got to pay to go get what it is that you're looking for and at the end of the day you still don't ultimately get what you're looking for and I would say for people that are coming up in the genre they're just going to have to be more gully with it you're going to have to be confident in yourself because it's such a tricky it's such a very finesseful industry that even if you wanted to build a career in it and you're on the phone with somebody like who I talk to very regularly business wise we're not friends but is Nicki Minaj like are you going to fold and allow a celebrity to have their way with you just because they are the glitz the glam they have that what you call that it factor that makes people move and it inspires them? Are you able to see past all of that and come in and get what it is that you need? Or, will you fold and, pick a side?
well, I will say this. People are a lot more cautious about what they say. 10 years ago, I'm not going to say you could let it fly, but it wasn't so much censoring. Now people, they look at you, they could even look at, even some reporters that have been sued, by ABC and they say, dang, I'm not going to come out and say that. So it is a certain level of fear. I wanted to
There's a
ask,
way you could see, there's a way you could say it. I say it all the time. Like, I'm still going to say it. It's just the way, you just got to get crafty with how you say it.
I agree with you 1,000%. Let me ask you this. Do you feel like the new creators in this new media, they're replacing traditional blogs and TV gossip shows?
Yes, absolutely.
And is it better?
I'm not going to necessarily say it's better, right? Because I feel like we still need traditional media and gossip because they highlight a lot of the great things about these people. I understand my lane. I'm not here to be a cheerleader. I got one ingredient I'm coming to get, and it's wine. And so when you see the People magazines or the even your type of magazine, we need that balance so that we can see the good and the bad, so that we're able to make a fair judgment. One
Right.
isolated scandal doesn't negate the entire person's character. Like, I've heard crazy things about, Will Smith. I'm still a fan of Will Smith. Why? Because of all the good that I see about Will Smith.
Right.
And so I feel like there's a perfect balance to it all. And mine fits right into that guilty pleasure of it all. Like, I know I love this man, but I love him too, but I want to know his business. What's going on? It's no different than us being neighbors. And I like you, girl. We're going to go out. But, girl, what your nigga doing? That's so it has, we need that. So a lot of people thinking that we're going to erase it. I think traditional media is going to see a boost. I think it's going to get more popular because of AI and people using AI now to curate news. And it's just not the same feeling. And so they're going to gravitate more towards people who have a physical presence, people that they can relate to, people that they can rely on that's not going to allow a robot to talk for them
Yeah.
and just feed them news. So I think it's gonna be whereas people think AI is gonna erase it, I think AI is going to boost it.
Right. No, I agree with that because I know Gail King, she did interview that AI musician. She made a lot of money. I honestly, in my opinion, I thought it was smart. There were people coming out, and of course you'll have both sides who said, no, why would she do that? That's R&B. I actually thought it was a real person. But you do have a lot of faceless YouTube channels who is AI generated. The script can be coming from a person, but I've sat in those rooms. Some of that gossip is through ChatGPT. Do you think that's hurting celebrity news? Do we need a face to it, or do you think that, hey, no, this is just a new way?
It's just a new way. And just like every industry or anything new that comes along, we have to adjust. And once we make the adjustments, we not gonna go along with the get along, but we figure it out. And I haven't seen it damper my business at all. So we've actually seen it become more popular because of what AI and stuff is doing. I don't want to hear this unless Tasha say it. If it ain't coming from Tasha, I ain't believing that shit.
That's what people say. Yeah.
And that's just initially what it does because AI is just feeding so much just algorithmic news, whereas they just want to get in the algorithms, say something salacious, and there's no point of source.
Right, right.
And so people want a point of source.
Yeah, it's very similar to the Faith Jenkins case. She said that a lot of people were talking about her marriage, and she did a whole YouTube deep dive. And she said, no, these black channels, they're owned by black males, and then they're in other countries. So if we can't even sue them because the YouTube ownership is in other countries. I thought it was clever, but that's what people are doing. I want to ask you now.
Can I say that? I
Yeah.
don't even think anybody was checking for her and her marriage.
Hmm.
I've tried to stay as far away from that as I could because I don't want to get into it with her.
Hmm.
But she made it seem like people were really checking and believing what was coming from those channels. She was Googling her name. Her and Kenny Lattimore were never trending. She married Kenny Lattimore, became a TV judge, and now you're Googling what people are saying about you, but nobody's saying anything about you because you're Judge Hatchett, you're Judge Judy. Those are people that don't need media to be relevant. You have a show that's timeless. People are always going to watch conflict. But she thought when she married Kenny, it was going to somewhat boost her a little bit. But it's like, girl, he's of the early 2000s. Like he's of the 90s and 2000s. Like it wasn't relevant. So her digging and diving deep to get to where nowhere, I felt like it was a bit of a reach, and she thought it was just going to be a lot bigger than she thought it was, and it turns out that you're just a TV judge with a salary that married Kenny Lattimore.
I hear you. I didn't really see a lot of the news until it was presented online. I was like, well, oh,
By her,
right.
exactly.
I hear you. Now we
She
talk.
was Googling her own name. That's what
I
you
hear
get
you.
when you Google your own name. Lies,
Let's
assumptions.
let's talk about
Go
this.
ahead.
When you're dealing
Her.
with hot topics and viral stories, how do you personally decide what's fair to talk about and what's off limits? Because even like the Drea Kelly situation, like the Cardi B, it's only so much. Some people will be like, oh no, we can't say that. We can't say that. They'd be like, oh heck no. this is what it is. I already did my research. What do you categorize as off limits?
Babies, children,
Hmm.
okay, disabled people, people who are not able to cognitively formulate a sentence or even understand what's going on or being said about them. And I don't talk about death because I don't want people or families watching my channel having to relive and re-grieve, especially over gossip. And sometimes gossip can be wrong. And I don't want misinterpretations about people's family members being, I don't know, misconstrued on my channel and them having to just open up wounds again. My channel is the type of channel that you come to, and yeah, it's a little mysterious. It's a little, I ain't supposed to be over here, but damn it, I'm here. You know? But at the same time, it's like I don't want them to feel terrible watching it. Because gossip is already kind of a thin line. And I don't want them to go deeper to feel like, especially if they're sick or they're going through something, that they have to, I don't know, partake in something that is just below the belt. And as you know, God will question you about when you get to heaven. You're leaving babies alone and just innocent factors and leaving people alone that are really going through loss. So I have boundaries. Other than that, of course, my sister-in-law is off limits for now because I am on a volunteer gag order just to keep my payments low. But once all of that is settled, we are in full-fledged business. You understand?
For people who don't know, who's your sister-in-law? I know.
So because of my gag order, I am not allowed to mention my sister-in-law's name. But
Okay.
everyone knows I owe my sister-in-law around $3 million now. So not 4 million, around 3 million now. And we are working that out diligently, and we will have that paid.
Well, I also want to give you a shout out because now you have, I thought it was very savvy, the bankruptcy person as one of your advertisers. See,
Yes.
Tasha don't now see that's how you cop a bag. The hell with
We
that.
have
You ain't
no.
gonna talk about me trying to take my money. If I'm gonna file everybody else because they say eviction rate is high, here you go. Here's the solution.
You get a bankruptcy, you get a bankruptcy, let's get it. And I ain't got no legal fees. She got legal fees, I ain't got none.
Okay, we got two more questions before we head into just the very quick round.
Okay.
Let me
Okay.
ask this. What do you think people misunderstand about you the most? Because you got people who are like, I'm 10 toes down. Every in-person meetup she got, I'm there. Then you got people who are like, I don't know. She just talk about too many people. What do you think is misunderstood about you?
Two things. I think they think that I'm malicious, and two, they feel that I lie.
What do you think about that?
I mean, I don't give a damn for what, but that is two of the most common things that I do when I'm on X. I see, and they're like, "Is Tasha credible? Is she not credible?" Or, "Oh, she's so mean-hearted." And I'm like, if they realize that I do not give a damn about any of the people that I blog about in that way, it is truly work for me. Like, seriously, there'll be some people like Tiffany. We just got a Fantasia's dad, and she had told me like he was slow talking, and I was just like, well, Fantasia's like really not relevant. She's unbothered, she's unproblematic. Like I don't think she would sell, even though I'm sure people would want to hear from her father. But I was just like, toss him. I don't want to talk to him. You know what I'm saying? They really think that I would like really go there, but I'm like, the story has to have some type of substance. What can people learn from? Not to say that Fantasia's dad is not going to offer any substance, but I just feel like Fantasia is just not a person that's, besides taking somebody's husband, and that's been so many years ago. I feel like she's just not, problematic. So, I mean, I feel like people think that I just sit and harbor on like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. That's not what it is. I do not. People send me stories all the time. And then a lot of times I do go after stories, especially if they're trending or I see something brewing. And I'm like, okay, we could do something here. But for the most part, yeah, it is truly a business for me.
And when I tell you, you are on point, you are on point. This is my last question. And again,
Yeah.
we are included people. We are going to head into our seven pick, seven round. Now, this is one, um, I mean, I think that is relevant, but one of my producers said we need to ask. Wendy Williams. So,
Hmm.
do you feel like today's audience still have an appetite for her now? Because I see you and I see other bloggers. And I just don't see people running home at 4 o'clock p.m. or running home at 3 p.m. or even turn on their Roku to just sit there and watch somebody in a purple chair. It has to be on convenience, right? Because even when you go live, it's not, it's it's almost like a privilege. You're not live 24/7. So do you think people still have an appetite for Wendy Williams, or do you think her time is up? What do you think?
I'm not gonna say anybody time is. I'm not God. You understand what I'm saying? But I do feel like Wendy has her audience. She's built it for 30 years. And there are people that grew with her. And I think that they would always tune into her. But now that then there's my generation that grew up with me, that understands my lingo, my lane, the way that I do things. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we all have those similar traits. When I see my viewers, we're all pretty much the same. We sit, we got kids, some don't have kids, but we're all women that have been through some shit and we don't mind talking about it. So I feel like Wendy will always just have a space for that. She'll always have an audience for that. Now, and her audience is the DVR record type audience. Save that. I gotta go watch her later. You understand? Whereas with me, it's like you said, I don't try to go live. I try to go live when it's like, I got some shit. Y'all ready? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Wendy's that she paved the way for a black woman like myself to be able to get up here and do this. Because if I would have came before Wendy, they would have put me out of business a long time ago. But the fact that Wendy softened the blow for somebody, and I'm harder than Wendy. Like my news is a lot harder. She has softened hers. She used to be like an OG back in the day, but she has gotten to the
The
point where she
radio
can't go
days,
so hard.
when
Yeah,
Whitney getting
like she
into it.
can't. Okay. Now me, I would never. I mean, I get into it with my guests, but I don't get into it with them during an interview because I have no reason to. But if there's some shit brewing behind the scenes and I see you going live talking shit, then I'm gonna have it with you. But for the most part, everybody, I don't try to attack people on my interviews. Like I really try to stay out of it and allow the guests to freely shine and get information out that they normally wouldn't get out on any other platform. So,
Okay. All right. You all heard from Tasha K. We're doing seven pick, seven round, and it's meant to be quick. Now you can give a long
okay,
answer, but at the same time, I think when our viewers send stuff in, it's because it's messy.
okay.
Okay. So
All right.
this is the seven pick, seven round. We are with Tasha K. Ashley Carr from Baltimore. She said, Tasha, Cardi B and Stefan. I think it started off as a publicity stunt, but I heard she just moved out of the house. How long do you think they'll stay together?
Well, they're locked for life. And I've always, like, my mom has always screwed her baby daddy. So once it's baby daddy, you locked in for life. Listen, they may not be together, but people fuck their baby daddies. That's my baby daddy. Who gonna say I can't? Sorry, I was supposed to be short.
No, no, it's okay. It's okay.
All
Uh,
right.
let's talk. Do you know about the Akira and Brene situation? The million
Yes,
dollar
I
lawsuit?
do.
Okay.
I'm familiar with that. Yeah.
People sending a question about that. So we have Brandon Lee. He is from, what is this, Miami, Florida. He wanted to
Okay.
know, do you think that Brene really has to pay her that $1 million lawsuit? And is there any way she can get out?
Yes, she can get out. First of all, she doesn't have it, so you can't give what you don't have. And two, she could chapter 7 herself.
Do you think that, because I'll just go ahead and ask this question. This
Hmm.
is from Shakira, and she is in Connecticut. She wanted to know, do you think that she was wrong taking her husband? Can you really take a man if they don't want you?
You can't take no man. A man been over there. You can't you can't take a person. That's where her husband wanted to go, and it's very unfortunate. But and I don't think any amount of money is going to bring back or solve her pain. So to me, I think it was a waste of time.
Okay. We got question number 4. This Wicked cast. Do you really think that Cynthia is Ariana's handler?
I think they fucking.
Gosh. Why do you think that? We can go deeper. What do over? Let's go deeper. Why would you say that? Why do you
I
think?
think they fucking. I mean, look at their body language on the red carpet. That's her woman. That's
How
her
long do you
bitch.
think it's gonna last?
I don't think they would ever probably come out publicly and say it because it will ruin not so much Cynthia's brand, but Ariana's brand. Because, you know, Ariana appeals to a lot of the little girls. You know, that's why she got that very pale, casket ready face. She's trying to look as young as possible. But I really do think, in my opinion, that those two are fucking. The energy is written all over them. And that's why she's so protective of her and she gets jealous. It's like they have a relationship. And who's Cynthia's man?
I thought she was married before. That's what I saw on TikTok, but I guess not.
But who's her man now?
Ariana.
Thank you.
Question number 5. Do you ever think Drake and Kendrick will be cool again?
Yes.
Why do you think that?
Because it's business at the end of the day, and they stand to both. When it's a money game at play, like you gotta understand, just like Meek and Drake became cool, even though Meek Mill and Nicki Minaj are not cool, but Drake and and Meek Mill are cool after dissing each other. And Drake had the #1 record for like 6 to 8 weeks on Billboard, dissing Meek Mill.
This question is from Tasha. She didn't give her last name, but she put Los Angeles, California. She's in college.
Okay.
Jay-Z and Nicki. Do you think Nicki was lying in any of her statements that she wrote on Twitter? Because she just came out the blue.
No, not at all. Because you remember Nicki used to praise Jay-Z. They used to be cool. And something happened business wise that really caused Nicki not to trust Desiree Perez, which is the CEO of Roc Nation, and Jay-Z, which is that's her business partner. So no, I don't think Nicki was lying. I think from a business perspective, Jay-Z has always been kind of shysty when it came to business dealings with all of the people that he's worked with, Dame Dash, a lot of the people that invested in Tidal. I mean, he's always just kind of been cutthroat that way. And so I feel like she got backdoored, didn't see it coming. And, she's pissed about it.
No, I think that's a fair statement because it's almost like, I don't know, because I know that lawsuit with her and her boyfriend, not her boyfriend, her husband, and it was with the security guard. I read that whole case, how he punched him and blah, blah, blah. And then now the people that are always coming up to the house, but they never answer and the cars are there. And I just think in this situation, I heard somebody say it could be karma, but I don't know if this is that her karma on this situation. I think that she just fed up and she was saying, hello, this is what happened to me and somebody gonna listen.
Yeah, I agree.
Let me see. Last one is number 7. Who is one person that you want to interview, but you haven't yet?
That's a hard one. Kanye West.
Kanye?
Yeah.
If you had to choose between these two people, we're going to end on this.
Okay.
Kanye and Elon Musk, who would you choose?
Kanye.
Why?
Why the fuck would I want to interview Elon Musk? He's autistic.
Oh my God.
He's not a realist. And I'm never going to be able to get him to see a realist because you got to understand people who are on the spectrum do not see people as people. He thinks like he doesn't have rational thinking. So no, I would never want to interview someone who doesn't have a soul.
Yeah, his daughter did change her name to serial number, so that got his attention. Well, first, I want to say thank you. Thank you.
You talking about the trans daughter?
I don't know if she's trans.
She, the one that's on Twitter going off on him?
Yeah.
That's a nigga in wig.
This is too much for me. It's too much. I didn't sign up for this. I signed up to report the news.
Yeah,
First
he's
of
arguing
all,
with a whole man.
that was his daughter.
No.
It's too much. I want to say thank you very much, Tasha. Thank you to her assistant, Tiffany. And just FYI, I was able to secure it on her TikTok. I know y'all are following her. Go ahead and follow her on TikTok. I think she'll be doing some more lives. Send her as many gifts as possible.
Oh, that's so
Tiffany,
sweet.
I want to say thank you to you and Tasha. I will talk to you later. Thank you.
Thank you.